My wife texted me. I'm taking the kids, and you're going to lose everything. I replied with just one word. Noted. Then I sent her lawyer a hidden video. I'm 35, married for 8 years, father of 2 girls, Lily, 6, and Maya, 4. I run a small but successful consulting business from home, which means I'm around more than most dads. I thought that was a good thing. Turns out, it made me the perfect target. 3 months ago, I started noticing things. Small things. Jessica would shower before I got home from picking up the girls from daycare, even though she worked from home too. Her phone was suddenly password protected. She'd laugh at texts and then quickly flip the screen down when I walked by. Classic signs, right? But I didn't want to be that paranoid husband. I trusted her. We'd built a life together. Then came the credit card statement. $347 at a hotel downtown. On a Tuesday afternoon, when she told me she was having lunch with her sister. I called her sister, Rachel. Casual conversation. Hey, how was lunch with Jess last Tuesday? Long pause. We didn't have lunch last Tuesday. We haven't met up in like 3 weeks. My stomach dropped. I didn't confront her immediately. I know that sounds weak, but I needed to be smart. We have 2 kids. A house. Shared accounts. If this was going where I thought it was going, I needed proof. I installed a small camera in our bedroom. One of those nanny cams that looks like a phone charger. Completely legal in your own home in my state. By the way, I checked with a lawyer friend before I did it. I also started keeping detailed notes. Timestamps. Conversations. Screenshots of her location history from our shared family app. 2 weeks later, I got what I needed. I was out with the girls at a trampoline park. Jessica said she had a work deadline and needed the house quiet. I told her no problem. We'd be gone all afternoon. Except I forgot Maya's inhaler. She has mild asthma, nothing serious, but I didn't want to risk it. So I drove back home around 2 p.m. I walked in through the garage. Quiet. I was halfway up the stairs when I heard it. Voices. Laughter. Then sounds I'm not going to describe in detail, but you can guess. I stood there for maybe 10 seconds. My brain was screaming at me to kick the door down, to scream, to throw him out a window. But my hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold the railing. I walked back downstairs, got in the car, and sat there staring at the dashboard until I could breathe again. The girls asked why we came back. I told them I remembered the inhaler was actually in the car. Kids don't question that kind of thing. When I reviewed the camera footage later that night, it was worse than I thought. It wasn't some random guy. It was Derek, my old college roommate. The guy who was best man at our wedding. The guy I lent $5,000 to last year when his startup tanked. The footage was crystal clear. Date stamped. Showed everything. Them coming into the bedroom. Her laughing about how I'd be gone for hours. Him making jokes about me being clueless. I didn't sleep that night. I just sat in my office staring at the file on my laptop. The next morning, Jessica acted completely normal. Made breakfast. Kissed me on the cheek. Asked if I could pick up groceries later. I smiled and said sure. Update 1. I spent the next week consulting with a divorce attorney. Not just any attorney. One of the best family law people in the state. I showed her everything. The footage. The financial records showing hotel charges, expensive dinners I never attended, Venmo payments to Derek that she thought I wouldn't notice. My attorney's exact words. This is a gift. She's handed you everything. In my state, infidelity doesn't automatically change custody, but it matters for asset division and it definitely influences judges. More importantly, the financial deception mattered. A lot. Jessica had been siphoning money from our joint account into a separate one I didn't know about. Small amounts over months. $1,500 total. My attorney advised me not to confront her yet. Get everything in order first. So I did. I documented everything. I pulled all our financial records. I got the house appraised quietly. I transferred half of our joint savings into a separate account, completely legal when you know divorce is coming. I made copies of everything. Every photo, every document, every password, every receipt. I was cold and methodical because I had to be. For my daughters. Then, last Monday, Jessica made her move. I came home from a client meeting to find an empty house. Not empty like robbed. Empty like strategically cleared out. Her clothes were gone. The girls' favorite toys were gone. The good TV was gone. There was a note on the kitchen counter in her handwriting. I'm done pretending. I'm taking the girls somewhere you won't find them. My lawyer will be in touch. You're going to lose everything. Don't try to contact me. My phone buzzed 30 seconds later. Text from her. I'm taking the kids, and you're going to lose everything. I stared at that message for a long time. Then I typed back one word. Noted. I immediately called my attorney. Then I called the police. What Jessica didn't know is that taking the kids without my consent, especially across state lines, is parental kidnapping. My attorney had already warned me she might try this. Within 2 hours, I had an emergency custody hearing scheduled for Wednesday morning. Update 2. Tuesday night, Jessica's attorney sent over her demands. Full custody. The house. 70% of my business assets. Alimony. Child support at the maximum guidelines. The letter painted me as an absent, controlling husband who prioritized work over family and created an emotionally unsafe environment. It claimed she feared for her safety. It said I was financially abusive. Every single line was a lie. My attorney called me. Are you ready? Send it, I said. We filed our response that night. Attached to it was the video file. Time-stamped, dated, crystal clear footage of Jessica and Derek. Also attached, financial records showing her secret account. Records of her location history showing repeated visits to Derek's apartment. Screenshots of deleted texts I'd recovered from our cloud backup, where she told Derek she was planning her exit strategy and needed to secure the bag. Her lawyer received it at 9 p.m. By 10 p.m., my phone was exploding. 12 calls from Jessica, 15 texts, then calls from her mother. From Derek, all blocked. The only message I read was from Jessica. You fucking recorded us? That's illegal. You're insane. I didn't respond. Update 3, Wednesday morning. Courtroom. I showed up with my attorney in a folder 3 inches thick. Jessica showed up with her attorney, her mother, and this smug expression like she'd already won. She'd clearly been crying before, makeup covering the red eyes, playing the victim role. Derek wasn't there. Interesting. The judge started with Jessica's side. Her attorney stood up and began talking about my obsessive behavior and invasion of privacy, and how the video was obtained illegally and shouldn't be admissible. My attorney smiled. She'd been waiting for this. She stood up and calmly explained that in our state, single-party consent laws allow recording in your own home. She cited 3 separate precedents. Then she asked the judge if he'd like to review the video to confirm its authenticity and content. The judge did. In chambers. It took 15 minutes. When he came back, his entire demeanor had changed. He looked directly at Jessica. Mrs. Last name. Did you remove the minor children from the marital home without informing their father of their location? Jessica's attorney tried to argue it was a safety concern. The judge cut him off. I've reviewed the evidence submitted. I see no indication of any safety concern. I see clear evidence of infidelity and financial deception. Mrs. Last name. Where are your daughters right now? Jessica stammered. With my mother. In Ohio. You took them across state lines without consent? Her attorney jumped in with some legal justification, but the judge wasn't having it. Emergency custody is granted to the father pending a full hearing. Mrs. Last name. You will return the children to our city within 24 hours, or you will be held in contempt. We will reconvene in 2 weeks for a full custody evaluation. Jessica's face went white. Her mother started crying. Her attorney looked like he wanted to sink through the floor. But the judge wasn't done. He addressed the financial issues next. Froze all joint accounts pending full disclosure. Ordered Jessica to return any marital property she'd removed from the home. Granted me temporary exclusive use of the house. The whole thing took 40 minutes. As we walked out, Jessica tried to approach me in the hallway. Please, we can talk about this. I made a mistake. Don't do this to our girls. I looked at her and said the same thing I texted. Noted. Update 4. The girls came home Thursday afternoon. Jessica drove them back herself, her mother in the passenger seat giving me death stares the entire time. Lily asked why mommy wasn't staying. I knelt down and told her that mommy and daddy were having some grown-up problems, but they both loved her and Maya very much, and everything would be okay. Maya just wanted her stuffed elephant. Thank God Jessica had brought it. After they left, I made the girls' favorite dinner, chicken nuggets shaped like dinosaurs and mac and cheese. We watched a movie. I tucked them in and read them 2 extra stories. Lily held my hand and asked if I was sad. A little, I told her. But I have you too, so I'm also really happy. She seemed satisfied with that. Over the next 2 weeks, more details came out in Discovery. Turns out Jessica and Derek had been planning this for months. They'd opened a joint bank account. Derek had been paying for a lawyer for her since January, 3 months before I even suspected anything. They'd underestimated me. They thought I'd be blindsided, desperate, willing to settle for whatever scraps they offered just to avoid drama. Final update. The full custody hearing was 2 weeks ago. Jessica showed up with a new strategy: tears, apologies, promises to do better. She'd made mistakes, but was getting therapy and just wanted what's best for the children. Her attorney painted me as vindictive for recording her. Said I'd violated her privacy and traumatized her, and that my actions showed I was controlling and manipulative. My attorney let them talk. Then she systematically dismantled every argument. Showed the judge the messages where Jessica called me an easy mark and discussed hiding assets. Showed the financial records proving she'd been planning this for months. Brought up the parental kidnapping. Then came the character witnesses. My neighbors. The girl's teachers. My business partner. All of them testified that I'd been the primary caregiver for months while Jessica was busy with work projects. The judge awarded me primary custody. Jessica gets supervised visitation every other weekend pending completion of a parenting course and therapy. The house is mine. My business is mine. She gets minimal child support based on her actual income, not the inflated numbers she'd been claiming. Derek, by the way, blocked her number 2 days after the first hearing. Turns out when the fun part ends and real consequences show up, guys like him disappear fast. Jessica's mother still sends me hateful messages. I have those forwarded to my attorney. It's been 6 weeks since the final order. The girls are adjusting. Lily asked last week if Mommy was coming back home. I told her Mommy has her own home now, but she'll still see her soon. I'm not bitter anymore. I'm just tired. And relieved. The girls laugh more now. They don't see the tension anymore. I still see Derek's car around town sometimes. He pretends he doesn't recognize me. Edit 1. A few people have asked about the money Derek borrowed. I'm taking him to small claims court next month. He'll probably ignore it, but at least it'll be on record. Edit 2. For those asking about therapy, yes, I'm taking the girls. Lily especially has been having some anxiety at bedtime. We're working through it. Edit 3. Jessica requested a modification hearing last week trying to get more custody time. Her attorney withdrew the request after we submitted the girls' therapy notes. Sometimes the trash takes itself out.